The free culture movement is a social movement that promotes the freedom to distribute and modify creative works in the form of free content by using the Internet and other forms of media. The movement objects to over-restrictive copyright laws. Many members of the movement argue that such laws hinder creativity. They call this system permission culture. Creative Commons is an organization started by Lawrence Lessig which provides licenses that permit sharing under various conditions, and also offers an online search of various Creative Commons licensed works. The free culture movement, with its ethos of free exchange of ideas, is aligned with the free software movement. Richard Stallman, the founder of the New Project, and free software activist, advocates free sharing of information. He famously stated that free software means free as in free speech, not free beer. Today, the term stands for many other movements, including open access, the hacker culture, the access to knowledge movement, the open source learning and the copyleft movement. The term free culture was originally used since 2003 during the World Summit on Information Society to present the first free license for artistic creation at large, initiated by the copyleft Attitude team in France since 2001. It was then developed in a 2004 book by Lawrence Lessig. Background: in 1998, the United States Congress passed the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act which President Clinton signed into law. The legislation extended copyright protections for 20 additional years, resulting in a total guaranteed copyright term of 70 years after a creator's death. The bill was heavily lobbied by music and film corporations like Disney, and dubbed as the Mickey Mouse Protection Act. Lawrence Lessig claims copyright is an obstacle to cultural production, knowledge sharing and technological innovation, and that private interests, as opposed to public good, determine law. He traveled the country in 1998, giving as many as 100 speeches a year at college campuses, and sparked the movement. It led to the foundation of the first chapter of the Students for Free Culture at Swarthmore College. In 1999, Lessig challenged the Bono Act, taking the case to the U.S. Supreme Court. Despite his firm belief in victory, citing the Constitution's plain language about limited copyright terms, Lessig only gained 2 dissenting votes, from Justices Stephen Breyer and John Paul Stevens. In 2001, Lessig initiated Creative Commons, an alternative, some rights reserved licensing system to the default, all rights reserved copyright system. Organizations. The organization commonly associated with free culture as Creative Commons, founded by Lawrence Lessig, CC promotes sharing creative works and diffusing ideas to produce cultural vibrance, scientific progress and business innovation. QuestionCopyright.org is another organization whose stated mission is to highlight the economic, artistic, and social harm caused by distribution monopolies, and to demonstrate how freedom-based distribution is better for artists and audiences. Question Copyright may be best known for its association with artist Nina Paley, whose multi-award-winning feature-length animation Sita Sings the Blues has been held up as an extraordinarily successful example of free distribution under the aegis of the Sita Distribution Project. The website of the organization has a number of resources, publications, and other references related to various copyright, patent, and trademark issues. The student organization Students for Free Culture is sometimes confusingly called the Free Culture Movement, but that is not its official name. The organization is a subset of the greater movement. The first chapter was founded in 1998 at Swarthmore College, and by 2008, the organization had 26 chapters. The free culture movement takes the ideals of the free software movement and extends them from the field of software to all cultural and creative works. Early in Creative Commons life, Richard Stallman supported the organization. He withdrew his support due to the introduction of several licenses, including of developing nations and the sampling licenses, and later restored some support when Creative Commons retired those licenses. The free music movement, a subset of the free culture movement, started out just as the web rose in popularity with the free music philosophy by Ram Samudrawala in early 1994. It was also based on the idea of free software by Richard Stallman and coincided with nascent open art and open information movements. The free music philosophy used a three-pronged approach to voluntarily encourage the spread of unrestricted copying, based on the fact that copies of recordings and compositions could be made and distributed with complete accuracy and ease via the Internet. The subsequent free music movement was reported on by diverse media outlets including Billboard, Forbes, Levi's Original Music Magazine, The Free Radical, Wired and The New York Times. Along with free software and Linux, copyleft licenses, the explosion of the web and rise of P2P and lossy compression. Despite the efforts of the music industry, free music became largely a reality in the early 21st century. Organizations such as the Electronic Frontier Foundation and Creative Commons with free information champions like Lawrence Lessig were devising numerous licenses that offered different flavors of copyright and copyleft. The question was no longer why and how music should be free, but rather how creativity would flourish while musicians developed models to generate revenue in the Internet era. Defining freedom. Within the free culture movement, Creative Commons has been criticized for lacking standards of freedom. Thus, some within the movement only consider a few Creative Commons licenses to actually be free based on the definition of free cultural works. In February 2008, Creative Commons added an approved for free cultural works badge to its licenses which comply. Attribution and Attribution share alike summaries of the licenses with restrictions on commercial use or derivative works do not have any special marks. Criticisms. Vocal criticism against the free culture movement comes from copyright proponents. Rick Carnes, the president of the Songwriters Guild of America, and Coley Hudgens, the executive director of Arts Plus Labs, an alliance of technology and media companies, claim that despite the free culture movement's argument that copyright is killing culture, the movement itself, and the media it creates, damages the arts industry and hurts economic growth. In addition, some argue that the atmosphere of the copyright debate has changed, and that the free culture movement may have once defended culture producers against corporations, but now it is hurting smaller culture producers. Prominent technologist and musician Jaron Lanier discusses this perspective and many others' critiques of free culture in his 2010 book You Are Not a Gadget. Lanier's concerns include the depersonalization of crowdsourced anonymous media and the economic dignity of middle-class creative artists. Andrew Keene, a critic of Web 2.0, criticizes some of the free culture ideas in his book, Cult of the Amateur, describing Lessig as an intellectual property communist in the news media industry. Some blame free culture as the cause behind the decline of its market. However, scholars like Clay Shirky claim that the market itself, not free culture, is what is killing the journalism industry.